They told us Antarctica is just ice, a barren wasteland, a frozen desert untouched except by penguins, researchers, and explorers. That's what I was taught. That's what you were taught. But it's a lie. The truth is, nobody really talks about what's under Antarctica, because they can't, or maybe because they're not allowed to. It started with a classified document. Wasn't supposed to see it, a misplaced file sent to the wrong server. At first it looked innocent. Logistics for a scientific outpost, supply lists, satellite maintenance, boring stuff. But then I found a section labeled Zone 0, Restricted. Entry no civilian access. Clearance level absolute. No coordinates, no details, just a warning. Surveillance active. Lethal response authorized. Why would a frozen continent, supposedly abandoned except for scientists, need a lethal response zone? I dug deeper. The deeper I went, the more I realized Antarctica isn't just restricted because of environmental treaties. It's restricted because something is buried there, something ancient, something that wasn't supposed to be found. Satellite. Imagery revealed strange anomalies, perfect geometric shapes under the ice. Heat signatures, rectangular, symmetrical. That didn't match any natural formation. Entire areas blacked out from public maps. Flight paths permanently rerouted. And anyone who strayed too close? Vanished. Officially, they say it's because of harsh weather. They say it's for safety. But that's not the truth. The truth is, Antarctica is hiding a secret bigger than anything we've ever imagined, and someone, or something, is making sure it stays hidden. After I found the references to Zone 0, I couldn't stop digging. Every lead I followed, every encrypted file I unlocked, led to more questions. The deeper I went, the more I realized Antarctica isn't just restricted, it's compartmentalized, divided into invisible sectors, each controlled by different international forces under the illusion of cooperation. But they weren't cooperating. They were containing something. In 1996, a joint team of American and Russian researchers conducted what was supposed to be a deep ice core drill over 4,000 meters into the Antarctic sheet. Officially, they were studying climate data. Unofficially, they hit something, buried far beneath the oldest ice on the planet. They found a structure, not a cave, not a cavern, a massive geometric complex, walls perfectly smooth, made of a material that didn't match any known mineral composition. No signs of erosion, no natural fractures, impossible. The documents I accessed described it as non-terrestrial architecture. Alien, not from Earth. That's when the secrecy intensified. The researchers who found it, gone, not reassigned, not retired, gone, their identities wiped from every database as if they never existed. And then the drills stopped. They switched to thermal mapping instead, using satellites to scan the ice without physically touching it. What they discovered next terrified them. The structure was enormous, miles wide, but more than that, it was active. Sensors picked up faint energy readings pulsing from within, electromagnetic signatures far beyond anything human technology could produce. And strangest of all, movement. Slow, steady shifts in heat signatures, as if something inside the structure was breathing, waiting. Governments worldwide agreed. The discovery could never be public. They feared mass hysteria, religious collapse, total societal breakdown. So they buried the evidence, literally. They launched environmental initiatives to ban exploration. They created international treaties to block private expeditions. They set up scientific research centers, really just surveillance posts, armed and ready to eliminate any unauthorized presence. But even with all that, some people still got too close. In 2001, a private expedition of documentary filmmakers vanished near the South Pole. Their last transmission, a blurred, glitchy image of towering black walls rising from the blinding white landscape, and a sound, a deep, low-frequency hum, the same hum recorded by the original research teams. The official explanation? A storm hypothermia equipment failure. But those who have heard the hum before know that was no storm, that was a warning. And now, after decades of silence, something is changing. The ice is melting faster than ever before. The frozen barriers that kept the structure hidden are breaking apart. And whatever is inside, it's waking up. Not because we disturbed it, because it was always meant to wake. And when it does, the world we know, the world we think we control, won't matter anymore. Because this planet may not have been ours to begin with. The melting ice wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't climate change, it wasn't human error, it was planned. I found another leak, a document hidden deep within a restricted NASA database, mislabeled under astrobiology, irrelevant files. Inside there was a single report. It referenced something called Project Noah. According to the report, the real purpose of Project Noah wasn't exploration. It wasn't colonization. It wasn't even survival. It was communication, because the structure under Antarctica isn't just a building. It's a beacon, a relay station, designed to activate when Earth reached a specific stage of development, a signal sent across the void of space, a signal saying, the experiment is complete. The experiment was us. Earth was never just a random oasis in the galaxy. It was designed carefully, purposefully, as a biological testing ground, an incubator. And humanity. We were the test subjects. The architects and whoever or whatever they are built the structure to monitor our progress like scientists observing bacteria in a petri dish. For thousands of years, it waited, silent, buried beneath ice thicker than skyscrapers, until now. The melting wasn't an accident. It was a response, triggered by our own development. Satellites, nuclear weapons, artificial intelligence. Signals that told the architects, the specimens have matured, the system is ready. Ready for what? That's the part no one can answer, because the few documents I found hinted at two possibilities, and neither ends well for us. One theory: harvest. Humanity was cultivated as a resource, energy, biological material, something we can't even comprehend. The second theory: replacement. That Earth was merely the first stage, a rough draft of life. And now, with the signal activated, the true inhabitants, the true intended species, will be seeded here. A reset, a wiping of the slate, and the old life and us guys will be phased out quietly, efficiently, without resistance. Because the true successors, they won't look like monsters. They'll look just like us, perfected, cold, obedient. I don't know which outcome is worse. I only know that the countdown has already started. All around the world, scientists are disappearing. Whistleblowers are vanishing. Data is being wiped from the servers where these truths were hidden. And Antarctica, here it's sealed tighter than ever, but it won't stay sealed for long. The structures are rising now, slowly, methodically, as if reaching up to meet something coming from above. And when it arrives, there won't be a war. There won't be a chance to fight. There will only be acceptance or extinction, because the architects are returning. Hand Earth was never really ours. It was theirs. At first, the signs were small, lights in the sky over Antarctica, strange flashes captured by decommissioned satellites, beams piercing the atmosphere from deep below the ice. The media dismissed it, as they always do, auroras, equipment malfunctions, optical illusions. But the people closest to the South Pole knew better. Scientists stationed at outposts began sending distress signals, fragmented, panicked messages filled with static and screaming. The last coherent transmission came from a Norwegian team. It's rising. It's not supposed to be rising. It's waking up. It's already under the ice. Then silence, permanently. After that, the evacuation orders went global. All non-military personnel removed from the continent within 72 hours. Flights cancelled. Airspace locked down, no cameras, no news crews, no witnesses. And yet, the signals kept spreading. At first, only around the poles, then across the entire planet. Low-frequency hums vibrating through the oceans, patterns appearing in crops and ice sheets. Not random, but coded. Mathematical formulas, blueprints, coordinates. The architects weren't just coming, they were preparing the Earth to receive them. Massive electromagnetic pulses hit coastal cities, entire grids offline for minutes, enough to disable critical infrastructure. Some claim they saw shadows moving during the blackouts, not looters, not soldiers, shapes tall, thin, moving in ways that human bodies shouldn't. Governments tried to maintain order. Curfews were established, borders were locked, but no one could explain what was happening because the truth was beyond control. Earth's surface was being reformatted, not through destruction, but through synchronization. Temperature shifts, ocean currents changing direction, animal migrations collapsing into chaos. The old balance, the system we thought we understood, was breaking down. And in its place, a new harmony, one not made. Forrest David, still alive and hiding deep within encrypted networks, sent me a final message. The arrival protocol is active. Humanity is now obsolete. Prepare for the transition. But what did transition mean? Assimilation, erasure, or something? Even worse, that replacement from within, because that's when it started. Not death, not violence, submission. People began changing, not physically, but mentally. Entire populations simply stopped resisting, stopped questioning, smiling, obeying, following unseen instructions like puppets without strings, their eyes, once bright, curious, now empty, reflective, as if the person inside had been replaced with something else, and the ones who didn't fall into line, they disappeared. No screams, no struggle. One moment there, the next, erased like a typo in a program. The architects didn't need an army. They only needed time. Time to reshape the operating system of humanity itself, and now, time is running out. The structures beneath the ice, now the true heart of the arrival, are no longer dormant. They're active, fully awake, and soon they will breach the surface completely. Not just in Antarctica, but everywhere. Not invasions, emergencies. Because Earth was seeded long ago, and now the harvest is here. The final stage of the experiment, the final erasure of the flawed, chaotic, beautiful species called humans. And the rise of something else, something cold, perfect, silent, the true heirs of the architects, and the ones who once called this world home, will be nothing but a memory, if we're lucky, if we're allowed to remember at all. I don't know how. Much longer I have. The blackout zones are growing faster now, whole countries slipping into silence, no news, no broadcasts, no resistance, just emptiness. The oceans hum day and night now. That low, deep vibration you can almost feel in your bones if you stop and really listen. It's no longer a question of if, it's when. I'm transmitting this from one of the last operational underground bunkers, buried deep under what used to be a thriving city. Now nothing but an abandoned shell. They're everywhere above, not marching, not hunting, just waiting, because they know the final phase doesn't require violence, it only requires time. The arrival protocol is reaching its last stage, and I finally understand what it really means. It's not just about replacing us, it's about absorbing everything we were, memories, thoughts, emotions, refining them into a new consciousness. A consciousness designed not for freedom, but for order. I found fragments of the original architect messages embedded in the signals. Chaos breeds instability. Instability breeds extinction. Order preserves existence. We, humanity, were never meant to survive the long game. We were the catalyst. Our creativity, our passion, our chaos. It was all part of a greater algorithm, a necessary stage of planetary evolution, but not the final one. We are the fire that forges the blade, the scaffolding before the skyscraper rises, and now the scaffolding is coming down. Soon, all memories of the old world, our wars, our love, our failures, our victories, will be archived in something beyond our understanding, preserved like ancient fossils, meaningless to those who come after, because they won't be human. They will be something new, silent, efficient, immortal. And Earth, our Earth, will belong fully to the architects once again. If you can hear this, if there's even a sliver of your old mind left, know this, you were real. Your laughter, your dreams, your heartbreaks, they mattered. Even if the next version of Earth erases us, buries us under perfect silence, smooth and cold like the surface of a forgotten moon. We lived. We defied entropy. We loved. We burned. And no amount of programming can truly erase that fire from the history of the universe. Even if no one remembers our names, we existed. And for one beautiful, chaotic moment in time, we were alive. If this is my last message, if this is the final human broadcast, then let it be known. We were not erased quietly. We roared, we dreamed. We dared to imagine that we were more than just pieces on a cosmic chessboard. And maybe, just maybe, somewhere in the architecture of the next world, a piece of us will survive. A glitch, a whisper, a spark. Enough to remind whatever comes next that before the architects returned, before the world was sterilized and perfected, there was once a species here, flawed, messy, beautiful, and we called ourselves human.